Good morning students and welcome to our YouTube channel Eng.Med Modern School. So in the previous video we have just solved the exercise of the previous chapter, and now we have started the chapter number 6, that is heat and temperature. So in that we have seen up to the in this chapter we have seen up to the temperature part, and then after we will start now heat. What is heat? Okay students, let us first of all see what is heat. See here, when we bring two objects at different temperature in contact, a certain type of energy flows from the body at higher temperature to body at lower temperature. This type of energy that flows from a hot body to cold body is called heat or heat energy. So, I am just writing the definition of it, of heat. So, what is heat, students? First of all, heat. So, here it is written, when we bring two objects at different temperature, into contact, a certain type of energy flows from the body at higher temperature to the body at a lower temperature. This type of energy from a hot body to a cold is called heat or heat energy. So students, what is heat or heat energy? So when we bring two objects at different temperature in contact, a certain type of energy flows from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. This type of energy from a hot body to a cold body is called heat or heat energy. Okay students, heat or heat energy. Now see here, we have seen about heat. See here, there is an activity which shows about the heat. See here, I am just reading and explaining it. See here in that, to show that heat energy is transferred from a hot body to a cold body. Note, to be performed under adult supervision means you don't have to do it alone. Someone old is over, young is there. Okay, students. A. Material needed: a metal coin, a pair of tongue, boiling water, water at room temperature when 2 glass tumbler and a stove. Fill each glass with a small quantity of water. Boil water on a stove and drop the coin in the water. Leave the coin in the hot water till the coin becomes very hot. Ask an adult to pick up the coin with the help of pair of tongues and drop it into the water in one of the glasses. Dip your finger in the water in 2 glasses. You will observe. What you will observe? You will observe that the water in the glass with the coin is a little warmer than the water in other glass. So, conclusion from this shows us that the heat can be transferred from the coin to the water in the glass. Means you have to just heat the coin and put in one of the tumbler. Okay, students, and in which tumbler we have just put the coin, that water will be little bit heat or hot water, and that will be at the other will be at room temperature. Okay, students. Now, heat energy travels from a hot body to cold body. How it travels? Okay, students, how it travels? So, left to itself, heat energy always travels from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature, and never in the other direction. It will only transfer from higher temperature to lower temperature. Means if I say I have a 2 coins, okay, students, and one it is the coin is hot, and on the other hand the coin is cold, then what will happen? If I put a hot coin in the cold water container, then the water the coin will separates the heat and the water will be hot. And if I put the cold coin in the hot water, then the hot water will hot the coin. Okay, students, this is why the heat is transferred from higher hot body to cold body. Measuring heat energy. How we measure the heat energy? We all know temperature we measure was Fahrenheit and Celsius. Then how the heat is measured? Let us see. Calories and joules are the 2 common components of heat. The SI unit of heat is joule. Calories and joules are the 2 common units of heat. Okay, students. So, in that way, in the temperature we have seen that Celsius and Fahrenheit was the units, but here in the heat it is calorie and joules. Here let's answer is there, that I will give answer in next video. You have to do it by your own first, students. So, modes of heat transfer. Which mode from heat can be transferred? We have just learned that the heat energy flows from a body at higher temperature to lower temperature. The process by which the heat is transferred are called mode of heat transfer. There are 3 modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection and radiation. See here, mode of heat transfers means which mode, via which mode the heat can be transferred. Okay, students, so for that there are 3 types, 3 modes. See here, let us see one by one. Conduction is the primary mode of heat transfer in solids. Conduction can only happen when the 2 bodies are in contact. Conduction can also happen within a body from one end to another end. So, what is conduction? Okay, students, first of all let us see that. See here, there is an activity given over here. See here, to study the conduction of a heat in rod made of different metal. Let us see the, students. See here, material required: rod of equal diameters and equal lengths made of aluminum, copper and iron. Okay, students, so wooden slab, brick, wax, small metal balls, candle or Bunsen burner. Okay, students, so for that what they do is make two rods at a time and stick the small metal balls pin to the rod with the help of candle wax. Okay students, what you have to do, you have, in that rod you have to just put a pin with the help of candle wax. Okay students, set up the arrangement as shown in the figure A. See here how there is a figure you have to put like that. Light the burner and place it at the tip of the rod. We have to put that burner on the tip of the rod. Okay students, repeat your activity with iron and aluminium. You can see students how this will, what it will do, due to the heat the wax will melt and then the pin will fall down. So you have to note that which rod just puts the pin down first. Okay students, so here you will see that the wax melts and the balls tack pins begin to drop one by one. You can also notice that they drop faster in copper rod, followed by aluminum rod, and slowest in the iron rod. Okay students, so conclusion, heat from the burner is transferred from one end along the rod to the other end. It travels along the rod at a certain speed. This form a heat transfer is called conduction. Okay students, that is known as conduction. See here, our next topic is how does conduction occurs, how it works and how it occurs. Let us see one by one the points. See here, to understand how to conduction occurs, we need to understand that matter. We all know matter is of three types: solid, liquid and gas. Okay students, solid, liquid and gas. So it is made up of tiny particles called molecules. These molecules are never still, they are in constant motion. Molecules in a solid are tightly packed and are unable to move around freely. However, they vibrate around a fixed point. Let us understand what happens in the activity performed above. See here, of a solid rod being heated at one end by the flame, the heat causes the particles of the vibrate faster at the end of the rod contact with the flame. These particles bumps each other and transfers it to neighboring slow moving particles which are further away from the flame. The neighboring particles start vibrating faster and it turns pass on the energy their neighbors. In this way, heat energy get transferred from the one particle to the another particle. It should be noted that each vibrating particles remain in its original location. This forms of a heat transfer by actual physical contact is called conduction. Means if I say in simple word that how the heat is transferred by conduction, we all know that we have just used what we have used. We have used the lighter from which we just our mother just burn the gas. Okay students, in the stove. So what we do, we put a finger on the stove and then after put a lighter, then we get current in our hand. In that way the heat that is transferred. Okay students, in that way if you take a rod and in that some of the particles, if you start heating from here, they will vibrate, vibration will start faster and faster, and then after due to this vibration the other particles which are not in contact with heat, the heat will transfer by that particles by the vibration of it. Okay students, next, it occurs by collision of the neighboring particles of the body. Okay students, and next is in fluids, molecules move around randomly and bump each other. In a liquid at lower temperature, the molecule move about with lesser speed. When the temperature of the liquid increases, this molecule move around with great speed. What do you think will happen when molecule of a liquid at high temperature moving in start bumps into collision with molecules of the liquid at lower temperature? The faster molecule will transfer some of their energy to the slower molecules. After many such collision, the molecule of the hot liquid will end up moving slower than before. The molecules of the cold liquid will end up moving faster than before. This process will continue till the average speed of the molecule of both liquid becomes same. The hotter liquid thus cools down and the cooler liquid just warms up till both reaches at same temperature. See here, what in liquid just happened. You have seen the liquid. In the winter season, we all know we use hot water for bathing. Hot water for bathing. You know that if we just boil the water will just bump. Okay students, due to this bump we can know that this water is boiling. So what just the particles which are in the water, they are moving with a great speed, so they are bumping, and we know that for just cooling down that water we add extra water on it, so we can't able to just bath. Okay students, we can't bath with too much hot water and we can also bath with too much cold water. We need a medium range. Okay students, in winter we all know that our mother just in big vessel keeps just makes the hot water for bathing. Okay students, and nowadays the geyser and the solar is there, so no need to hot the water. Okay students, so this is about the liquid. Okay students, now next our topic is conductors and insulators of it. So what are conductors and what are insulators? So conductors means we have heard about the conductors, not the conductor which are there in the ST bus. Okay students, we are not talking about the conductor which are there in the ST bus. We are talking about the conductors of heat and insulators of heat. Okay students, so for that, what are conductors of heat? That is the material or the particle or the substance which are able to pass the heat. The substance or the material or the metal which is able to pass the heat are conductors. And what are insulators? Opposite of that, the materials or substance or anything which do not pass the heat is known as insulators. Okay students, here that is given over here. I am just reading that. See, in general solids do not conduct heat very well. Have you noticed that you can hold a cup of a water in ceramic cup quite easily, but the same water in a metal cup will be too hot to touch. Why is this? Let us perform an activity to understand this. See here, in the ceramic there is an hot water which is given to you. So for that, what is a ceramic cup is there and metal cup is there. So what we will choose? We will choose ceramic cup. Why? When we hold, then we will not get the heat of that, and if there was metal, then we will get the heat of that hot water. See here, there is an activity. Let us see that to show that some materials allow heat to flow through them easily, whereas some materials do not. To perform under adult supervision, very hot water tumbler container of various materials like glass, plastic, ceramic, stainless steel and paper. Method: take the help of an adult to pour hot water into cups of different materials. Very tightly touch each of the cup from outside. Make sure you do not burn yourself. What do you observe? Observation: you will find that the stainless steel cup is really hot from the outside. The other cups are warm and quite bearable to touch. Conclusion: this shows us that even though water in the different cups is at the same temperature, stainless steel allows heat from within the cup to be transferred easily, while other materials such as ceramic, plastic, glass, paper do not transmit much heat. So there are certain materials that allows heat to pass through easily and other that do not. Okay students, so this is the heat transfer, and we can say conductors and insulators of heat. So insulators means which do not pass the heat are insulators, and the conductors means which are able to pass the heat are known as conductors. So let us read further. Materials that are allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors. See here, I have just told it before that materials that allows heat to pass through them easily are called conductors. All metals are good conductors of heat. Materials that do not allow heat to pass through them are called insulators. So what is insulator? The materials which do not allow to pass the heat are called insulators. Wood, straw, clay, rubber, paper, glass are examples of insulators. Air and water are also examples of insulators. See here, we have to understand that for us to feel the temperature of hot water, heat energy has to flow from the hot water through the material of the cup to our hand. Since metals are good conductors of heat, heat energy follows very quickly. However, since ceramic is bad conductor of heat, not much energy will loss. Okay students, to further understand how conduction takes place in the matter, we must understand the structure of the atoms and the molecules that make up metal. We know the molecules of a substance are made up of tiny particles called atoms. So what is atom, students? The molecules of any substance are made up of tiny particles called atom. See here, each atom is further made up of a nucleus and one or several electrons. The nucleus is positively charged while the electrons are negatively charged. In a metal, the nuclei of the atoms are firmly held in the position and cannot move around freely throughout. They can vibrate in their position. Some electrons, on the other hand, are loosely held and can move about freely. Armed with this knowledge, let us see what happens when one end of a metal is heated. The nuclei and the electron closest to the heat begins to vibrate faster. The electron bumps in neighboring electrons and nuclei and transfer energy to them. This is how conduction of the heat takes place in metal. Other solids do not have the advantage of loose, fire moving electrons and therefore do not conduct heat very well. In these paragraphs, it is only written that due to the atoms and in that electrons and the nuclei, due to this the energy will pass. Okay students, sorry, energy not, heat will pass over them. Okay students, now uses of conductors and insulators. So what is the use of conductors and what is the uses of insulators? So first of all, the first use is for fire. For cooking food, we required vessels that heat up quickly. Means for cooking we need a metal that quickly just heat up. So this is why we use conductors such as metals to make cooking utensils. You can see in the figure which is given, to hold the cook utensils without burning our hand, we need a material that prevents the transfer of heat from hot vessel to our hand. We can see here in the cooker there is a holding stand or holding material that do not heat up. The cooker will become hot, but that will not be hot. Okay students, so therefore we use insulators such as plastic handle or even a piece of cloth. Wool is a bad conductor of heat and prevents loss of body warmth to surrounding. Therefore we wear woolen coats in the winter to keep ourselves warm. Okay students, see here, woolen clothes keeps us warm, so we used to wear in that in winter. Okay students, then after convection, what is convection, that we will see. So convection we will see in our next video, and up till then you just write down your homework. Okay students, so in today's lecture what we have seen is, we have seen the heat. So what is heat, and then after modes of heat transfer in that conduction, convection and radiation, and how the conduction occurs, conductors and insulators of heat, and then after uses of conductors and insulators. So Now please write down your homework, students. So, your today's homework is, students, you have to write down the definitions of heat, and then after you have to write the definition of conductors, insulators, okay, students, and then after you also have to write uses of conductors and insulators. Okay, students, and the last let's answer on page number 74. Okay, students, that you have to do, and we will meet in our next video. Okay, students, bye.